So, if you're a creative professional, you're probably in this weird place with AI right now. A mix of, wow, this is cool, and uh-oh, what does this mean for me? How do we use these incredible new tools without letting them use us? Or even worse, snuffing out that creative fire we all have? Let's get into it.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? The one that kind of keeps us up at night. We hear all this chatter about productivity boosts and efficiency gains, but what's the hidden cost? Are we racking up some kind of cognitive debt with all this convenience that we're going to have to pay back later?
Okay, so what you're looking at here is, well, it's fascinating and honestly a little scary. A recent study at MIT hooked students up to EEG scans while they wrote essays. And the results? The students using AI showed up to 55% less brain activity. That's not a small dip. That is a huge drop in how much our brains are actually engaging with the work. And that really brings us to the core of the issue, right? AI is this double-edged sword. On one hand, it promises to be this amazing superpower, a way to amplify our ideas and creativity. But like we're starting to see, that power comes with another edge that's, well, it's pretty sharp. This slide lays out the paradox perfectly. So, in a study by Dr. Anil Doshi, people were asked to write short stories. Some of them got AI-generated ideas to help them, and others didn't. Now get this. The stories that used the AI ideas were consistently rated as more creative. But, and this is a huge but, those same stories all started to sound more and more alike. They lost their originality.
So here's the thing we really need to wrap our heads around. The biggest danger isn't that AI is going to come and take your job. The real risk is that it could make all of us sound exactly the same. We could end up in this massive creative echo chamber where everything we make is just a remix of AI's greatest hits, all trained on the past, instead of us inventing something new for the future.
I love this analogy from creative coach Robert Peterson. It just hits the nail on the head. Think about it, right? A mobility scooter is an amazing tool if you actually need it. But if you can walk just fine and you start using it everywhere just because it's easier, what happens? Your leg muscles get weak. AI can be exactly the same for our creative muscles. If you just use it passively, those muscles are going to atrophy.
Okay, so how do we fight back against this? How do we avoid that mental decay? Well, it all starts with a really fundamental shift in how we think about these things. We have to stop seeing AI as just a tool, like a vending machine for answers, and start seeing it as something else entirely. Let's dig into that. This quote from Jeremy Utley at Stanford, I mean, this is it. This is the whole game. You don't use a teammate, right? You work with them. You collaborate. Just changing that one little word in your head from using AI to working with AI can completely change everything.
So, what is this teammate mindset? It just means you're the one in the driver's seat. You're the creative director. You're the one with the vision, the context, the important feedback. The AI isn't some all-knowing oracle. Think of it more like your brilliant but totally inexperienced new intern who needs you to guide them. And research from Stanford makes this so clear. The underperformers, they treat AI like a tool. They type in a question, get a kind of meh answer back, and just go, well, I guess AI is no good for this. But the outperformers, they treat it like a teammate. They coach it. They give it feedback. They even do cool things like ask the AI to interview them to get more context. And the difference in the results is just staggering. Professionals who really lean into this collaborative teammate mindset see the quality of their work go up by as much as 40%. 40%, that's not a tiny little bump. That is a career-changing leap in quality. And it comes from working with AI, not just using it. Okay, so we've got the mindset down, but what does this actually look like day to day? How do you put the teammate mindset into practice in your actual workflow? Let's break down a simple playbook. Here it is, a really simple 4-step process. Step 1, you think first. Before you even open up an AI tool, your vision, your inspiration, that's where it all starts. 2, you supervise its output. Use it for brainstorming, for generating different options, but not for the final answer. 3, you coach it. Don't just accept the first thing it spits out. Give feedback, iterate, and finally, number 4, you always own the final word. You're the one who adds the soul. And you know why this playbook works? It's because it forces you to double down on all the skills that AI just doesn't have. Your lived experience, your emotional intelligence, your ethical compass, your weird ability to connect two totally random ideas from different fields. These aren't just soft skills anymore. In the age of AI, these are your superpower. This is your biggest competitive advantage. Just remember, everyone has access to the same tools, right? We're all using the same ChatGPT. The tool itself is a commodity. The one thing that's different in that whole equation is you. What you bring to the table, your perspective, your questions, your unique spark, that's what makes the result valuable and different from everyone else's. Now, while we're learning how to work with AI, we also have a responsibility to understand how these things are actually built. Because the truth is, the convenience that we're all enjoying right now comes with a hidden cost. And a lot of the time, it's an unethical one. So as AI ethicist Ed Newton-Rex breaks it down, you need three things to build a big AI model. People, like engineers, massive amounts of computing power, and data. And the AI companies, they'll spend billions of dollars on the first two. But that third thing, the data, which is very often our creative work, our articles, our art, they frequently just take it without asking and without paying. And this is not a small issue. A study from the Mozilla Foundation found that a whopping 64% of major AI models were trained on something called Common Crawl. That's a huge data set that's just scraped from the web, and it's full of copyrighted books, articles, and artwork. And on top of that, another 21% of these companies won't even tell us where they got their data. So here's the inescapable truth. These models are trained on the work of human creators, and then they're used to generate work that directly competes with those very same creators. An AI that learns from millions of stock photos can then create its own stock photos, undercutting the artist whose work it learned from in the first place. And you know what? The public gets that this isn't right. A poll from the AI Policy Institute found that almost 3 out of 4 people, 74%, believe that AI companies should have to pay the creators whose data they use to train their models. It's really just a matter of basic fairness. So what does a fair, ethical, and creative future actually look like? Well, it looks a lot like this: a real partnership. We act as the creative directors. We set the vision, we provide the strategy. And the AI? It acts as our incredibly powerful creative assistant. It handles the heavy lifting, the research, the technical stuff, and it generates options for us, the humans, to choose from. This is the vision we should all be working toward. It's optimistic, yeah, but it's also realistic. It's not about being replaced, it's about being augmented. AI isn't the artist. It's the most powerful paintbrush that has ever been invented. And now, it's up to us to learn how to paint with it. And that's really the bottom line. In a world where anyone can generate a good enough answer in just a few seconds, your unique perspective, your weird ideas, your empathy, your personal story, your humanity, that's not a bug. That is the killer feature. And the only question left to ask is, how are you going to use AI to amplify it?